Here, if you need extra help, I have created flashcards for the topic of organelles. There's 2 pages to it. First, cut off the border, and then cut dotted lines only. When you do that, you'll end up with the cards with these. Okay, what you're going to do with each of these cards, you're going to fold them on the solid line. So fold each card along the solid line. Once you've folded each card in the solid line, you're going to use your notes. You're going to open up your journal, and you're going to figure out what's being described in each one of these cards. And you're going to do that, and we're going to do write a few notes on here, and do a little bit of coloring on some of the images, so you know which one's which. Remember, organelles, these are all structures or things we find inside or as part of a cell. Okay, so as you open up your journal and you go through your notes here, so like nucleus, all right? The control cell processes, contains genetic information, and is visible with a microscope. So find which one's describing that. Go through your cards and maybe even find the picture. So one side's the picture and the other side has, okay, the description. All right, so here we go. Right here. Stores and protects all the genetic information used to control cell processes, contains DNA, usually the largest organelle, and visible with the microscope. That right there is describing, okay, what is the nucleus. All right, so what you're going to do, find that card, get your color, so that description matches the nucleus. So on that front side of the card, write nucleus. And then if you look at this, this is a very simple diagram of a cell. It's labeling the nucleus, the cell membrane, and the cytoplasm. Highlight the word nucleus and color the nucleus. That is the nucleus. And you're going to repeat that process, okay? Using your notes. So what produces lipids is a tube-like structure and is attached to the rough ER. Well, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So that one doesn't need coloring, okay? That's what it looks like. There's the name, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. But I'd like you to go ahead and write smooth ER, because sometimes they'll abbreviate endoplasmic reticulum with just ER. Smooth. So go ahead and write out smooth ER, because sometimes instead of writing out smooth endoplasmic reticulum, they'll give you the abbreviation ER. So smooth ER. So that one is a picture with the name and its description. You're going to go through and you're going to do all of those cards that way, using your notes to find out which one's describing which. And then with each card, okay, go ahead and put just a thin little line of glue on those 3 sides, super thin amount of glue, and glue it flat. Okay, a super thin line of glue and glue it flat. And as you do that, you will end up with a set of cards. So this one, picture one side when it says rough ER and it says ribosomes. You look over here, the tube-like structure covered in ribosomes attached to the nucleus, that's describing the rough ER. So go ahead and highlight the word rough ER. Okay, that's the whole thing there. And go ahead and write out rough endoplasmic reticulum, the full name. Okay, rough endoplasmic reticulum. Go and put glue on the 3 sides and glue it flat. Okay. Plants only. Storage of extra water, lots of water to maintain turgor pressure. Plants wilt if there's not enough water. Storage of enzymes, sometimes stores weights. We are describing what is called the central vacuole. Okay, and what you're looking at is a picture of a plant cell. Okay, the central vacuole is what's labeled. Go ahead and color it. Remember, it's the big, large blue sac, sorry, big, large sac filled with water. So go ahead and color it. And notice it's a plant cell. You can tell because it kind of has that squarish shape to it. That means it's a plant cell. Thin line of glue, glue it down. Continue that process until you have them all. So some of these have the same diagram, like this is the same one as we had for nucleus, so you have to read what it says. Controls what enters and exits the cell, maintains homeostasis, is made of a phospholipid bilayer, is the barrier that separates the cell from the outside environment. That is describing the cell membrane, which is the outside edge. So go ahead and color the outside edge there. And the other name for the cell membrane is the plasma membrane. So that one has 2 names. So you need to know them both. So go ahead and write one, and the other one's already written for you. Glue the edge. Down flat. Okay? Modifies and processes proteins. They're small sacs stacked like pancakes, packaging and shipping system of the cell. Okay, that is describing this thing. That, when you look at your notes, you're going to find that is the Golgi. Sometimes called the Golgi apparatus, sometimes called Golgi complex, but it's always called Golgi something. So we'll just call it the Golgi. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, but the tutorial bus is bus number 165. There's a correction. Today's bus is 165 for tutorials, and it will be departing at 5:45. Thank you.
Okay, so animal cells only. Make spindle fibers used in cell division, very small and cylindrical, noticeable during cell division. It's that thing, those called centrioles. Now, the pictures are not, how can I say it? Not as important, but they are important. Sometimes they'll show you a picture and they expect you, based upon a few clues, to know what it is. So if you know what the picture's representing, it'll be easier. Okay, again, that same image, but now it's the liquid of the cell, the jelly-like material between the organelles. Many substances are dissolved in the cytoplasm, including sugar, salt, oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. So the cytoplasm, okay, we're talking about the liquid. It's not the membrane, it's not the nucleus, it's the liquid in the cell. Okay, the cytoplasm. And you can write the word cytoplasm, be a good idea. Go ahead and glue it shut. Okay, we've seen this image already. This time it's describing about what makes proteins. Does not have a membrane and is the smallest organelle in the cell. It's the tiny dots on the rough ER. We are describing the ribosomes. Okay, so get yourself some sort of a color and color each one of those dots. Coloring just the dots on there. Okay, the ribosomes. Ribosomes make protein. Okay, this one right here, that image, it does cellular respiration, which means taking sugar, which is an example of glucose, and turning into ATP, which is cell energy, and it has a double membrane. All right, that is describing, okay, all about making energy for the cell. So energy is the key word. Mitochondria is responsible for energy. All right. Go ahead and glue. Okay, this one right here, very nondescript, hard to tell what it is. You have to use the description. Used to break down cellular waste, contains digestive enzymes. That is the lysosome. Now, as you're doing this, your notes, these cards themselves might change, but use your notes to figure it out. Okay? So this one says plants only provide structure for the cell. All right, so this is not just plants only. Just put in there not animal cells. So that one's incorrect there, not animal cells. Provide structure for the cell and therefore for the plant is a box-like structure around the cell. Protects cell from damage, made of cellulose, which is a carbohydrate molecule. That is the cell wall. So the image for the cell wall, remember it's outside of the plasma membrane, okay? So the cell wall is that thick layer right there, okay? It's the thick outside layer. The plasma membrane is inside of it. So it's the outside part which is visible. There. Cell wall. Okay? Plants only. Okay, not only plants, but it's plants and some other things, but definitely not animals. Okay? It's where photosynthesis occurs, which is transforming the sun's energy into glucose, which is a sugar. It contains chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is green, and that's why plants are green. We don't do photosynthesis, therefore we are not green. Okay? That we are describing is the chloroplast. All right, and there's an image of it. It has an outer and inner membrane. It has these little tiny stacks of discs on the inside called granum. All right, the stacks are called granum. The little discs are called thylakoids. The liquid inside there is called the stroma. All right, and that is the notes. Now, how do you use them? So here's the thing. My suggestion is to first start the side of the picture. Okay? Go, okay, the cytoplasm, and look at the picture. The cytoplasm is the liquid of the cell. The cytoplasm is the jelly-like material between the organelles. The cytoplasm is the many substances, has many substances dissolved in the cytoplasm, okay? Kind of go back and forth with every single fact. Ribosomes make proteins. Ribosomes do not have a membrane. Ribosomes are the smallest organelle in the cell. They are the tiny dots in the ER, the ribosomes. Flip back and forth. Centrioles are animal cells only. Centrioles make spindle fibers used in cell division. Centrioles are very small and cylindrical. Centrioles are only noticeable during cell division. So that one keyword there, cell division. Okay? The Golgi modifies and processes proteins. The Golgi, small sacs stacked like pancakes. The Golgi, packaging and shipping system of the cell. That's your Golgi. Chloroplast, where photosynthesis occurs. Chloroplast in plants. Chloroplast contains chlorophyll. Chloroplast, green. Go back and forth. And go through each one of them like that. Okay? Once you've done them all that way, then do the reverse. Start with the description. Controls what enters and exits the cell. Maintains homeostasis. Is made of phospholipid bilayer. Is the barrier that separates the cell from the outside environment. What are we describing? We're describing the plasma membrane. Okay? Go through, read the whole description. What are we describing? Centrovacuole. Okay? Read the whole description. What are we describing? Mitochondria. Okay? Read the whole description. What are we describing? Smooth ER. When you can do that, okay? When you can go through and do the cards front and back. So go through and like, okay, figure out which one it is. And then the last time you go through your cards, it will be doing this, okay? So mitochondria, what's everything I can remember about the mitochondria? Okay, the mitochondria has to do with energy for the cell. The mitochondria does cellular respiration. The mitochondria has a double membrane. All right, so does cellular respiration. ATP, oh, I probably should have known ATP, okay? Has a double membrane, energy, all right? So when you can do that, cuando tú puedes voltear con el papel así a ese lado y recordar todo lo que está atrás, ya estás listo para retomar el examen. You're now ready to retake the test. If you can, look at the front side and remember everything that's on the back. Okay? Now, if there's something here you don't understand, si algo aquí que no entiendes, haz Google. Use Google and search it up. Or watch videos on my YouTube channel, all right, about the organelles. They kind of explain them a little bit. Okay? So this is a great resource for you to study if you were not able to memorize, if you weren't able to learn all the material for the quiz the first time. This is a great way to study for the retest. Keep them in an envelope, in un sobrecito, so they don't get lost until you've finished taking the quiz. Until you've taken and passed the retake. Okay? Okay? That's the best way, mejor manera de memorizar, to memorize all the information you need to know. Okay? Okay. All right.